Right, this game, the first goal was actually scored by Nemesis. Over here, the player managed to win off the ball a quick burst of speed, nice shooting of the ball, cross-cut pass to his defender before he takes a drag shot, and the goal. We play it one more time. That turn of pace as well as keeping ball possession. So the number 77 ought to get the huge credit for their first goal. For their second goal, after a run of play, after some scrappy play, player number 26, a nice pass into the center to player number 88, and you can see he does make some good adjustments, sort of making a half volley shot at the end of it. Yep, half volley, half slap. So it was 2-0 to Nemesis at this point. However, close to the end of the game with about less than 1 minute to go, the VS player shouldn't have made the slap shot though, because he was just chasing the goal. But a lot credit to the Nemesis forward persisting and getting the third goal. Looking at a replay again, let's take a look at how much determination the Nemesis player had offered. Now, this play can also move straight towards the very controversial incident. You can see over here, while the Nemesis player was celebrating, the VS player actually slammed the boards, hitting the stick against the boards, and he was gotten a 2-minute penalty. You can see because of the penalty, he wasn't happy with the referee's decision, and despite the ref, explaining to him that it is actually not allowed. Now, based on my own knowledge, it is a 2-minute penalty based on unsportsmanship. Like, again, obvious unhappiness, but honestly speaking, he have no case to actually argue with. Right? He should be actually a lot more disappointed with himself, being in the sense that earlier on he shouldn't have taken the slap shot and the loss of the ball. Anyway, the play subsequently played on to the end of the match. He still want to go and argue with the ref, but thankfully number 77, the captain of VS, managed to pull him away. However, based on my understanding, the captain is actually talking about several challenges that Nemesis gave onto VS, and probably talking about why some of the calls were not given. Now, this is actually not incident I'm talking about. We'll let play progresses. You can see the referee is obviously frustrated, throwing the whistle off again. Probably something not he should have done. And at this moment of time, you can see number 55 of VS. So I shall make the play on, and you can see that out of nowhere he jumped off the court, and this is something that we could not see, but obviously from the reaction from the rest of the VS players and Nemesis players, something obviously might have happened between player 55 of VS and the ref. So some obviously went out to possibly stop certain conflict that's happening that's beyond the screen. You can actually see at the far end, one VS player actually just walk off to the other end, possibly to the toilet, just to clean himself up. I guess he can't even be bothered about it, while the rest are still waiting. Okay, so now the other ref partner managed to bring the 55 player back on court. Players gathering back into the usual ceremony. The VS player coming back out with a filled water bottle. Like, finally, is the incident over? He's still sitting on the bench, chilling, waiting, and you can see the two groups of players finally getting back together, and the chilled player finally getting back on court, doing the normal stuff, which is thanking each other for the game, whether you are winning or whether you're winners or losers. So both VS captain, the captain of VS and Nemesis doing the right thing over here, getting it done. So the usual high five, and as the high five progresses, you can see a little bit of gap between the VS players, because our dear number 55 probably still pissed off over something that only he knows. I do not know. Alright, so but nonetheless, managed to move forward a bit more. Now this incident that's happening, the two incidents rather, number one, the unsportsmanship like conduct, getting the 2-minute penalty, to me that is in my opinion a very straightforward situation. And for incident number two, I mean, really, God knows what was the conversation that was being, back and forth between the player and the referee. I think only they knows. But I think, in my point of view, we have seen enough of fights, scuffles, quarrels. At the end of the day, we need to be able to respect the game, and to respect the game meaning, number one, the referees must be able to make professional good calls. Number two, players must also be able to withstand or respect the calls that referees make, because ultimately referees are also human. They do make mistakes from time to time, but you as a player, you should also respect the game by respecting the referee. So I think they are often, and these scenes are often played live because they are live streamed. People are able to see, is theoretically speaking public. For players or captains or coaches to go to the refs and argue over calls, plays, I think it is very much unwarranted. Of course, during the game, yes, the captain is allowed to talk to the ref, but again, if it's done in a more respectful, more professional manner, I think that should be the point. So yep, that's what I have to say in regards to this game. Very little in regards to the goals, but very much about the incidents that's happened from the game itself. Now, what do you think? Any comments about it? Do drop it down below, and I'll see you in the next one.